Live, local, late breaking. This is WBAL TV 11 News at 6.
Tonight, taking another step toward normalcy. In updated guidelines, the CDC reveals who can now go outside without needing a mask.
Plus, the state is preparing for full in-person learning next school year. Why the head of the teachers union says it's not fully on board with the plan. But first tonight, 4 people are recovering after a fire tore through 2 row homes in Baltimore County.
Fire officials say that fire started in a home in Randallstown, and that's where 11 News reporter Kai Reed joins us live with the very latest on the investigation. Kai?
Well, yeah, you guys, this was a devastating fire, as you can see by the condition of this townhouse behind me. And as I understand, a very traumatic situation for neighbors who actually tried to run in and help the woman inside. Now, firefighters got the call just before 1 o'clock. There were heavy flames shooting from the home when they got here, and they had to call for more manpower and even set up a collapse zone. Investigators haven't said anything about how they think this fire started or about the victims. We do know that one was taken to the hospital with critical injuries, and neighbors say they tried to help before firefighters got here.
There was 3 people who attempted their way in the door, and but they weren't able to be successful. I was just about home, and when the smoke came through the roof, the flames came through the roof, several neighbors tried to get inside the house to see if anybody was affected or home at the time, and unfortunately somebody was home.
And so we know a second person was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We're still waiting for updates on conditions and all the people who were injured. And we also know that a townhouse next door was damaged in the fire as well. Reporting live in Baltimore County tonight, Kai Reed, WBAL TV 11 News.
Kai, thank you. Minutes after that fire started, crews responding to a parking garage at the Towson Town Center where 5 cars were on fire there. County fire officials say the fire was on the upper level of parking garage D near Nordstrom's. There are no reported injuries. The cause is under investigation.
Well, people who are fully vaccinated can now take their mask off at small outdoor gatherings. That also goes for walking, running, other outdoor exercise, either by yourself or with small groups of fully vaccinated and unvaccinated people. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention put out the new guidance today. If you haven't been fully vaccinated, health officials say you still need to wear a mask for those outdoor activities and at those small outdoor gatherings. The CDC says regardless of your vaccination status, you should avoid medium to large gatherings. The agency did not clarify how many people would constitute a medium or large gathering.
Generally, for vaccinated people, outdoor activities without a mask are safe. However, we continue to recommend masking in crowded outdoor settings and venues, such as packed stadiums and concerts, where there is decreased ability to maintain physical distance and where many unvaccinated people may also be present.
And masks are still recommended for indoor public spaces like movie theaters and gyms. So, how do people around the greater Baltimore area feel about the new outdoor mask recommendations? It seems feelings are mixed right now, at least according to those exercising around Lake Montebello this afternoon.
I'm cool with it. It depends on the person. I try to be cautious when I'm out here. I'm by myself. I don't interact. I try to keep my distance. So I think it depends on the person.
Sometimes it gets crowded out here and there's a lot of people out here, and just for me to feel comfortable and safe, I would continue to wear the mask.
It is very reckless.
The state health department told us through a statement, quote, the state will review any guidance that stems from today's presidential announcement regarding outdoor masking. Public health officials are closely monitoring case rates and are aggressively sequencing emerging variants. The Baltimore City Health Department also says it will review the guidelines and will make an announcement regarding possible changes to the city's mask mandate.
There are no more restrictions when it comes to social gatherings in Anne Arundel County. The changes went into effect about an hour ago. The rules apply to social gatherings, not those connected to a business or organization. County officials hope that more people will get vaccinated with the relaxed restrictions. After 6 days of declines, the state's hospitalization rate is back up slightly tonight. 15 more Marylanders were admitted to hospitals and 4 more patients are now in the ICU. The state added 677 new COVID cases in the last day. Unfortunately, 18 more Marylanders died from COVID-related complications during that time. And for a 4th day in a row, the positivity rate remained below 5%.
The state continues to administer thousands of vaccine doses daily. Today, the state reported it administered nearly 61,000 more vaccines. More than 4.4 million shots have now been given out. More than 1.8 million Marylanders are fully vaccinated, which is 31% of the state's population. And there are more places where you can get a vaccination without needing an appointment. Ripken Stadium in Aberdeen, Six Flags in PG County, and Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf all now offer drive-through appointment-free vaccinations. Walk-up times and capacity varies site to site, and the demand could impact wait times. Those 3 locations now make 9 no-appointment locations across the state, joining M&T Bank Stadium, the Baltimore Convention Center, Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, and sites in Hagerstown, Salisbury, and Greenbelt. With the exception of the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, all sites are offering the Pfizer vaccine.
And the state's latest mass vaccination site will open later this week. The mall in Columbia will start administering doses this Friday, April 30th. The site will be open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. The clinic will be able to administer 1,000 doses a day with the ability to ramp up to 3,000 depending on supply. Vaccinations at this site will be appointment only. State, county, and local leaders are trying to make it easier for Marylanders to get a COVID vaccine. 11 News lead political reporter Kate Amara is in Towson to show us a new program that's bringing the vaccine clinic right to residents.
As of today, county officials say more than 54% of eligible Baltimore County residents have gotten at least 1 shot. And so now it's time for the next phase of the plan, to chip away at the remaining 46% who have yet to roll up a sleeve.
There wasn't enough research on it long enough, so that's why it was on the fence. But I feel like we're at risk if we don't, and we're at risk if we do.
I'm not a huge believer in the vaccination and whatnot, but I figured if I'm gonna go anywhere outside of the country, I felt like I need to do my due diligence to get myself vaccinated.
Amount of cases in a
Baltimore County health officials unveiled their newest weapon in the fight against COVID-19, which is basically a mobile vax clinic in a box truck. From medical supplies to tables and tents, the whole setup unloaded and operational Tuesday afternoon outside the Baltimore County Health Department.
And we are building this plane while we're flying it.
Officials hoping this will make it easier for more residents to get the jab at a time when the number doing so is on the decline.
We will focus on communities where there are increased COVID cases and low vaccine interest.
Do you have any questions? Ask one of us here.
This new expanded outreach effort is highly targeted, the county executive explained.
Having mobile outreach.
His team doing a deep data dive right now to identify areas where COVID rates are high, vaccination rates are low, or both.
Underserved communities, lack of vaccinations, and then you couple that with the question about how, the messaging and the partnerships. I think we're really going to make this is the next step in our fight against COVID.
County officials say this mobile clinic is capable of administering shots to 200 people each day. They say it cost about $70,000 and was paid for with CARES Act funding. In Towson, I'm Kate Amara, WBAL TV 11 News.
Okay, thank you. Well, school systems may not have much wiggle room when it comes to providing in-person instruction to most, if not all, students in the fall. That's the message coming from the State Board of Education. 11 News education reporter Dr. Tim Tootin has the new push tonight.
Well, Stan, even though there was some concern by board members initially about this, they eventually got on board. The focus is on this fall for local school systems to have students in person in front of their teachers. The state says it's prepared to help local school districts make a timely transition long before then. The school board president says what's being recommended shouldn't come as a surprise to local superintendents.
And that's also consistent with our board priorities in terms of getting children back into school and back into a learning environment.
The most important decision that we can make today as leaders in the state is to open our schools for in-person, in-school instruction for all students.
But the head of the state's teachers union says it's skeptical about the timing of the back-to-school announcement.
It seems like a strong arm maneuver from a superintendent who's going to be out of here anyway when the fall comes, and a last hurrah to tell the locals what they should or shouldn't do.
The state says there are a number of school systems with plans already in place for a fall return. This is what the governor said in a statement. Here's part of that statement. It says, families and students deserve certainty that all schools will return to full in-person learning. He says to address the academic and emotional toll of prolonged online instruction, today's vote is an important step toward getting things back to normal. There's more of the governor's statement, as well as that resolution that was passed today. You can find them on my WBAL TV 11 News app. Live in North Baltimore. Tim Tootin, WBAL TV 11 News.
Thank you, Tim. Despite restrictions and vaccine efforts, Howard County is seeing a rise in COVID-related hospitalizations, but there's a new treatment for patients at Howard County General Hospital. The hospital is offering monoclonal antibody infusion therapy. The treatment uses lab-made proteins that mimic the immune system's response to a virus like COVID-19. If administered 10 days after infection, it can prevent hospitalization or worsening COVID-19 symptoms.
Medicine has been providing this treatment in partnership with the University of Maryland Medical System at the Baltimore Convention Center and the field hospital that has been stood up there since earlier this year. What we strive to do is to make this more convenient for the residents of Howard County and all of our patients to be able to benefit from this therapy being offered locally here in the hospital.
Howard County General Hospital will offer the treatment on an outpatient basis. Patients must be referred to the hospital by their primary care physician. For the latest COVID-19 data, or if you need help with getting an appointment to get vaccinated, make sure to use our TV 11 mobile app. Turn on push alerts to get updates sent right to your phone.
Still ahead on 11 News at 6. If you still don't have your real ID, you now have more time to get one. We'll take a look at how far back the Department of Homeland Security is pushing that deadline.
Well, tonight at Camden Yards, the Orioles go after something we have not seen from them since the opening series of the season in Boston. Do it against the Yankees, all the sweeter. I'm Jerry Sandusky. More on that later in sports.
More warmer temperatures coming our way for midweek, and we're tracking the next chance for some rain.
Ahead for us, we'll have my conversation with the head of the CDC about the new mask-wearing guidelines issued today. Also, how Apple is taking a bite out of apps that track your online movements. All when we see you back here tonight for Nightly News.